Hello YouTube and welcome to another dashcam drive through a town in South Carolina today. We are visiting the county seat of Williamsburg County, Kingstree. And a lot of signs back there and all to the right there um, are about famous people that reside and have lived in Kingstree, and I'll try to figure out some of those in a minute. Here's a pedestrian bridge up ahead for Kingstree High School. I think it is Kingstree High School. They combined with the school in Greeleyville recently. I believe that was C.E. Murray to form one consolidated school in the district. Well, no, they have Hemingway High School too, but um, they consolidated those two schools and they adopted the Blazers name, and it used to be the Jaguars. Um, but they have two campuses and they have a pedestrian bridge across the street for both campuses. So while we drive through Kingstree, I do want to kind of explain what's going to happen on this drive. I ended up going through a neighborhood, no idea what the name of the neighborhood is, but I was looking on my map and it was like S.J. Tomlinson store or something like that. And around this area where I live in South Carolina, we have a department store called Tomlinson's, and I get a lot of I like belts, and so I buy a lot of belts from Tomlinson's. And when I saw the name Tomlinson, I was like, is there a hidden Tomlinson's in Kingstree I didn't know about? So I got directions to that, and it was literally someone's yard. So I have no idea what that was on the Apple map, but you're going to watch me drive through a neighborhood in Kingstree trying to find this store that doesn't exist. Kingstree has a population of about 3,000. It's held steady for about 100 years now at least. And according to the South Carolina Encyclopedia, we'll get some history. Kingstree was founded, and I'm reading straight from the website here, South Carolina Encyclopedia. Kingstree was founded at the site of a large white pine tree on the east bank of the Black River, where an early explorer chopped an arrow marking it as the King's Tree. So, the Tree of the King. There were about 5 buildings after the Revolutionary War in the town, and it became a district seat of justice in 1804, and first court was held in 1806, and Kingstree got a post office in 1810. In 1823, South Carolina architect Robert Mills designed a handsome brick courthouse. And the Northeastern Railway came in 1856, and the village of Kingstree, the town now, was incorporated in 1866, a year after the Civil War. Some tobacco production has been prominent in Kingstree, along with textile and garment companies. In the state's largest cotton ginning operations was located in Kingstree. This is, I believe, in the 1980s. Or really, after World War II. So, it says Joseph L. Goldstein, the 1985 Nobel laureate in medicine, grew up in Kingstree. Okay. Alright, let's see if we can find out some more people that lived in Kingstree that those signs portrayed. I did miss at least one sign because I didn't know I was entering into Kingstree at that moment. So I did miss one of the signs, and maybe you can read them. I don't know. By the way, they do have a website, kingstree.org, but it doesn't have any history on there itself. Let's just try to find out who the famous people are in the town. Notable people: Teddy Pendergrass, Maxine Brown, Arisha Connor, Carol Connor, Mary Gordon Ellis, Louise Fulton, my bad, that's a professional bowler, Joseph L. Goldstein, Uruhu Hamater, Johan Hayes Burt, John Mack, Bryant McFadden, Rolly McGill, Yancey McGill, Wesley Muzon, Clifton Newman, Thomas D. Singleton, Stephen Atkins Swales, and Henry N. Tisdale. That is a lot of people that have a Wikipedia page of a town of 3,000. They also have a pig picking festival. That sounds like a lot of fun. For those that don't know what a pig picking is, it's basically a barbecue. Anyway, alright, now I'm back on the video, and that's basically the tale of Kingstree. I do know there's another school in the town called Williamsburg Academy. Anything else I know? I worked in Kingstree for like 2 days. I've had to travel here to work and meet with a couple of clients. It wasn't like I was stationed here. I just had to drive there, so that was kind of interesting. That's really my experience with Kingstree before this video. There's a restaurant there called Brown's Barbecue. I ate there both times I came for work. It was pretty good. It's just outside of city limits. This neighborhood seemed nice to me, well kept. Not a bunch of, a squirrel ran in the road. Not a bunch of clutter. Just manicured and brick homes look nice. And like I said, I was looking for a store that was supposedly, I think the store is supposedly right there where that yellow thing is. And whatever that is, maybe S.J. Tomlinson store, but it's not. Apple Maps for you, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so now we're getting ready to get back going. It's on my way to Lake City from here, just really driving through, like I said. Didn't hit Main Street, but we passed a lot of the businesses and stuff in town. For a town of 3,000, you can imagine that was basically your food options back there, except for what's on Main Street. And there's a Food Line coming up here, so that means the big grocery store in town. I do know they have I saw it when I was at work at the SC Works building there. The Bank of Greeleyville. They have a location of that, which used to have a commercial back when I was a kid. It's the best bank in Greeleyville. That's because it's the only bank in Greeleyville. One day we'll do Greeleyville and we'll talk more about that commercial, but I thought it was pretty funny when I was a 6-year-old watching NASCAR races on Fox. That's when it would come on. I'm just rambling at this point, and I ain't talking about Kingstree, and I should be talking about the fine town of Kingstree. Anyway, I believe this is like where the grocery store and stuff was, over to the left there. Definitely the town, not a bunch of new construction or new growth going on at all, but it's didn't feel like it was lost in time like some other places do. This particular area does, but back there, it looked, pretty busy. There were people everywhere, so that was good. There's a Roses there, Dollar General. Anyway, now we're leaving the town and we're on our way to Lake City, which is a video previous to this channel. But anyway, that was Kingstree, South Carolina, the county seat of Williamsburg County.